Deep underground, the solid Earth exists as a perfectly balanced system, holding immense compressive force in physical equilibrium. The exact moment a tunnel is excavated, that equilibrium is destroyed. The stress violently diverts and concentrates around the newly created void. Geotechnical engineering is the discipline entirely focused on managing this massive redistribution of force. The sole objective is to calculate how the rock will behave, ensuring these artificial voids remain safely stable throughout the mine's operating life. When we apply this to the massive surface footprint of an open-pit mine, these physical principles operate across entire landscapes. Here, engineers face a strict economic paradox. Designing excessively gentle pit walls wastes time, burying highly valuable ore under tons of useless dirt. To be profitable, they are forced to push physical stability limits to the absolute maximum. As a result, geotechnical design is a continuous, high-stakes mathematical tightrope walk, balancing maximum economic extraction against the constant threat of a catastrophic collapse. In an open-pit mine, the pit wall's angle is the most important variable dictating profitability. This cross-section compares two pit profiles. A shallow 30-degree angle requires excavating and hauling away a massive, unprofitable volume of worthless dirt just to reach the ore body at the bottom. A steep 60-degree wall saves millions of dollars in extraction costs, but it inherently increases the risk of the rock collapsing under its own massive weight. This diagram illustrates the metric engineers use to quantify that collapse risk, the factor of safety. It directly compares the resisting strength of the solid rock against the downward driving force of gravity. But rock is rarely a uniform material. Pre-existing geological structures, like faults and bedding planes, create weak surfaces that heavily compromise the resisting strength of the pit wall. The most critical variable capable of destroying a slope's factor of safety is groundwater. When water pressure fills these tiny fractures, it physically pushes the rock apart. This outward hydrostatic pressure drastically reduces the rock's effective resisting strength until gravity takes over. To counteract this, active engineering interventions are required. Mines deploy massive networks of dewatering wells using heavy industrial pumps to drain internal water pressure before it compromises the wall. Even with extensive modeling and dewatering, miscalculating the factor of safety results in total infrastructure loss. Surface mining is a relentless battle against gravity and water pressure, won only by mathematically pushing the rock precisely to its safe limit. Deep below the surface, extraction occurs entirely within the rock mass, and the structural rules change. The primary mechanism for preventing total collapse underground is leaving unmined columns of rock, pillars, to carry the crushing weight of the earth above. This is the tributary area method. Mapping a grid over a mined area estimates the load a central pillar supports. Survival depends on rock type and width-to-height ratio. If it becomes too narrow, the overhead load causes it to bow and fracture outward. This mathematical balancing act becomes exponentially harder as a mine goes deeper. At extreme depths, naturally occurring rock stress builds to levels capable of causing violent, explosive failures. This is a rock burst. Under extreme stress, solid stone can fail suddenly and completely, occurring without the gradual warning signs you see on the surface. While surface pits manage top-down gravity, underground engineering must build structures capable of surviving extreme, multi-directional crushing pressures from the earth itself. Large pillars hold up the macrostructure of the mine, but the immediate roof directly above the miners requires its own engineered support. Immediately after an excavation is blasted, flat horizontal layers of rock in the newly exposed ceiling begin to separate under gravity. To stop this separation, steel rock bolts are drilled upward, binding these weak, distinct layers back together. Clamping the strata tightly, the bolts transform loose, dangerous rock into a thick, self-supporting structural beam. A secondary layer of shotcrete, a sprayed liquid concrete, is then applied to seal the face and prevent smaller fragments from flaking off. The consequences of failing to properly install these roof support systems are immediate and highly visible. Micro-level support is just as critical as the macro-level pillars. It works by ingeniously turning the fragile rock mass into its own structural reinforcement. Pulling back to view the entire mining operation, it is clear that geotechnical stability is never a static calculation. Because a mine is constantly growing, every single new blast permanently alters the stress distribution throughout the surrounding rock mass all over again. Geotechnical engineers must constantly update their stability models to reflect this expanding reality. They verify these models using physical instrumentation embedded deep in the rock, using extensiometers and stress cells to track hidden movements. On the surface, radar arrays constantly sweep the pit walls, tracking shifts down to the exact millimeter. This surveillance provides the critical early warning window required to evacuate heavy equipment and crews before a stressed slope or pillar gives way. Preventing catastrophic failure is a daily, unyielding priority that dictates every single phase of a mine's operating life. But securing the excavation is only half the battle. The rock we've safely extracted must now be turned into profit. In the next episode, we move from the physics of extraction to the chemistry of processing, covering the strict fundamentals of crushing, grinding, and flotation. Geotechnical engineering is an active, never-ending optimization loop. It proves that a void is never empty. It is a carefully managed architecture of opposing forces.